It's Bobby and a
Okay,
couple Canucks.
we are live. Thanks guys for coming. It's the Friday night chat, as Colin just said. Bobby and a couple of Canucks here. We have Colin, who is a Montreal Canadiens fan. Marcus, a Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Fan. Yeah.
basically.
And
Basically.
a Flyers, Philadelphia Flyer fans. So now in Canada, right? I mean, I know obviously there's more teams,
Yeah.
but I mean, you probably just have your two camps, right? You're the Canadian fan or a Toronto fan, right? I mean, that's pretty much. I mean,
They're
are there a
they're
lot of Winnipeg
they're
Jet
the
fans?
I mean there are Montreal
Yeah.
and Toronto are by far the two most popular. Um, where Marcus lives, it's overwhelmingly, Toronto fans.
Yeah.
Where I live, there's a lot of Toronto, a lot of Montreal, also a lot of Detroit fans where I live.
Mm-hmm.
But you go out west, and they're all Canuck fans or Flames fans, and there's a good mix. Just no one likes Ottawa except people that live in Ottawa
Or the Jets.
or the Jets. Yeah, I mean, I like the Jets, but more like kind of like a little brother kind of.
It's
Gotcha.
hilarious that
I want you guys to do well.
Already wants to leave.
Yeah.
I miss the days of Joe Sakic and the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah.
Awesome
jerseys.
Yeah. When Mrs. Legs and I went there, that's when I proposed to her in Quebec. Like I stopped at a store and I got myself a Nordiques shirt, and it was an awesome shirt, and I wore it. And then we went to Toronto and we went to the Hall of Fame, and it was like almost like in a strip mall. Felt like, right? The Hall of Fame, the NHL Hall of Fame. Like I know there's the outside, right? But then it's connected to whatever, not a strip mall. You know what I mean?
Not really a strip mall.
No. Yeah. That's how. I mean, this was 7 or 8 years ago, so my memory, is not, the details are not always there. But
I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. I've been there. I've never been to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I've never been to the NFL Hall of Fame. I've been to Cooperstown, the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
And that's Cooperstown. The whole town is, basically there because of the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, all the businesses are geared to it. And it's a nice little town, and the Hall of Fame is actually pretty awesome and powerful, cool. Especially if you're a huge baseball fan.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah, I mean, if you never go,
you'll be all right.
You'll be all right. I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's bigger places. Anyway, guys, we're here to talk about watches. I'm sorry. I do like talking sports as well. But Colin, thank you for joining us tonight. And what do you have on wrist, buddy?
Oh, let me take it off so we can see it. I'm wearing the Planet Ocean.
Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah. And Marcus, how are you?
Good.
What do you got there?
Batman.
Okay, great.
Sweet. You've been wearing that a lot lately.
Yeah. I've been wearing it the whole week, I think.
So what does your girlfriend wear when you wear the Batman? Does
she's wearing my Pepsi, I think.
She's wearing the Pepsi? Okay. Yeah. So swap GMTs basically.
Yeah.
They have the same size wrist.
Yeah.
Close.
And I got my I keep on, I think this is 5 days in a row that I'm wearing the Zen 857.
Wait. You said my, is it yours yet?
Yeah, I mean, we've agreed on the price.
Ah, cool.
So, but yeah, it's my, it's going to be mine, or it's mine.
Is that stainless or is it?
No, it's tegamented.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the whole case and bracelet is tegamented, and I believe that the bezel is aluminum. I don't think the bezel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the insert. I'm pretty sure it's not tegamented, but
cool.
I could be wrong. But enjoying the last 5-6 days. I mean, it feels great on wrist to wear. So, guys in the chat, thanks for showing up. Let's give out some shout outs here. Blue Shirt Buddha Bruce, how are you? Jeffrey, my man, what's up? Hey, Peter. How you doing? There's Nilo. What's up, man? Engineer Sanjay. How you doing, sir? Keith. Good to see you. Kevin. Hello. Ep. What's up? Yeah, blue shirt. Rangers fans. Yeah. I saw a couple guys over here letting us know what kind of fans they are. So hello, Bobby Junior Johnson. What's up, man? Aren't you okay? Well, no one's as crazy as Oilers fans. That's right.
Oilers are my backup team.
Yeah.
They're like when my team gets knocked out, which happens a lot lately. I root for the Oilers, even though
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to root for them too. But
Right. I mean, they're like they haven't really. Well, a few years ago they had a run, didn't they? Didn't they?
yeah. I think they did pretty decent a few years ago. Well,
Yeah.
you got McDavid and Draisaitl, and you know, pretty hard to not be at least decent with those guys.
Penny, what's up? The Town Watch, what's up, man? So good to have you guys around. So a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and I also want to leave it up to the chat here. Do a little Q&A while we're doing some topics, and ask me anything kind of like situation if you have something that you really want to know about Marcus. Ask away, and maybe Marcus will answer, maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Ming. They came out with their watches came out for sale today, and they sold very, very quickly. And I find the brand interesting. I really when I first laid eyes on this brand a while back, I really dug the styling, and but it seems like everything that they're putting out is kind of seems like the same to me. And looking at what they have offered here in these two watches, I don't know. I wasn't really terribly impressed. Um, but that was just me. And for the price,
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I get why some people really like this watch, but I feel like it's almost like trading like a commodity now, and then people are going to flip it for more, and it's just I don't know. What is your take, guys? Marcus and Colin, like what do you guys? How do you guys feel about Ming in general, and then specifically this release, if you have an opinion?
I'm honestly out. I'm not interested. Like I'd rather just be flipping stainless steel sports Rolexes. That I'd respect myself more.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as bad as Nomos, but I'm out.
I actually really like their designs. I like their case shapes. I like their dial layout. It's very simple. I was actually online at 8 a.m. or whatever, and I put one in my cart. You know what? Anytime these things get released, I go to the websites and I throw them in my cart, almost like just to amuse myself to see if I could get it if I really wanted to, you know. So I actually threw it in my cart. If I really wanted to, I could have had either one of them. Out of these two, the 2702 is the nicer watch in my opinion. That's the one to get. It's not terribly enticing, honestly. I think people buy them just because they are limited, right? They're only couple hundred or whatever are being made. People buy them, they play around with them a bit and then they flip them. And it's kind of like, I feel like it's for the high horology guys who, buying a 5,000 Swiss franc watch is kind of like, I'll buy this as a beater. It's like a fun beater watch, right?
Right.
So, I know someone who was trying to get it and they were kind of thinking like, yeah, I'll buy it. I'll wear it for a little while and then I'll sell it. And maybe I get my money back or make a few bucks. And I can't be bothered with that, honestly. Their pricing's gotten kind of, it's getting up there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I look at this, right? And hey Pete, how are you? and I look at the specs, and look, I know that there's a lot of thought and a lot of whatever done with these watches, right? I mean, like there is some
Mhm.
artistic value to them, but when I see that movement and it's an ETA 7001,
Yeah.
and I think about the Zelos Nova that came out a few months ago that has the same movement for $899, and it's a good looking watch. And granted, I'm not comparing the two. I know the finishing is going to be a lot different. I don't know. I don't see the value of the Ming. I mean, and I'm just and
It's
Yeah.
a hype machine. It's promotion. It's promoting
I mean,
themselves. They've got a good name.
yeah,
You know.
I'm having trouble already justifying the Corono, and this is like a 50% premium on that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
I'd rather get a Corono than one of these. I
right,
think.
right, and right. And Calvin says at Bob says I am not really interested. Good thing that they use better movements, but I'm also out. Yeah. Agree. Ming is maximizing their hype and their
They are.
prices. Yep.
Yep.
they're doing well marketing wise. They
They
really
are.
are. Yeah, I'll
And
give them credit for that.
it's a lot of word of mouth. Like they've kind of built this following, and within the watch community, like people just, oh, I love Ming, but most people have never seen him. I've never seen one, honestly,
Yeah.
in person. But they get good reviews from their previous owners.
Mhm.
This what is it? The 1701, is that the copper
Mhm.
dial one? I mean, that's the one to get, right? That
Yeah.
was like sub 2000.
Yeah.
It's got a cool dial. That's the one that really got them on the map, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Pete, I mean, you're right. I mean, they do have the signature look, but the marketing is certainly overhyping them. Um, look, I like the look. I do.
Mhm.
I just don't know. Somebody had mentioned at this price point, there's so many other choices.
Yeah.
You know, it's just tough. And I think um I'm seeing what you had mentioned, Colin, that this is like, although a lot of people are very interested and probably waited, and refreshed that, a link
Mhm.
to get one. I think it is like, the high horology guy, you know,
Yeah.
might also pick this up and just have it kind of like a, you know,
People buy them just so they can be like, oh, I got one. It's a competition,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's the same reason why I go on and I just see if I could get one, if I really wanted to, because it's like, oh yeah, I
yeah,
could have got it.
I think they earned their place when they were kind of working from the 2000 range, but right now I think they haven't earned their place at the 5,000 point.
yeah,
Yeah, that just to build on what Colin's point.
Mhm. Now they do have some higher end ones that
hmm
command
Yeah,
at a higher price that are actually pretty compelling, I think, and could maybe warrant uh, the price point.
yeah. I mean they collaborate with Shorts ATN for
Yeah,
their 5-figure pieces, right? But I don't care. I'm not spending 5 figures on a Ming.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah. I
say
think
what you
they've
want, but I'm not.
I
No,
think they've. I'm sorry.
sorry, someone in the chat actually owns four Mings.
Yeah.
1701,
But
1706, listed
Alfredo
1902.
has like a very large sort of
Yeah,
very large extensive collection, right?
does he?
So
I don't know.
that
That
could,
makes sense then. Yeah.
yeah, it would fit into his collection. But for like someone
Mhm.
who's sort of looking at a smaller, like tighter collection, I think it's harder to justify.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, they've hit pay dirt, right? They have a signature
Yeah,
look, like Pete says. They're playing the marketing game really, really well. They're playing the limited release game very, very well.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's all working to their favor. The prices on the secondary market seem to hold up, or even do well in
yeah.
some of the models. Um,
I think the 2701s are actually trading a bit below the
are
list
they?
price from what
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy
no,
below.
but it's holding up. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's not like it's a crazy premium.
Hmm.
Personally, I'm not even willing to commit my time to wake up to try and buy it, much
Uh,
less
I was
fly it.
up, so I was,
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. What did you think of the Ming diver? That was a little bit interesting, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I liked you know what? I liked it when I first saw the picture. Then I kind of soured on it, and now when I see people post pictures of it, I was like, "Damn, that's pretty good looking,
mhm.
honestly." Um, and I forget what the price point was. Like, was that like 29.50? I
It
can't
was sub
remember.
4,000. It was for sub 4,000.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good release, I thought.
Yeah.
Penny's asking, how does the Ming compare to Moser in terms of design? I'll leave it up to you guys who have owned Mosers. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they both have a distinctive design, I would
Yeah.
say. Like they're instantly recognizable, both of them, but they do it in different ways.
Yeah. I think that Ming is too, because of its price point, it's too slave to the size limitations of the Peugeot 7001. Like
Yeah,
they cannot they cannot design their dials. They cannot, like Moser has a lot more control because they're fully in house. They can do it. They can do a lot more with their dials
yeah,
because of the movement, right? Because when the Peugeot's tiny,
yeah,
I think it's like 23 Swiss leans or something like that. It's tiny, so like you can't do a lot of stuff in terms of dial wise or even case wise with the Ming. So
mhm.
I wouldn't put them even in the same league. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. Finishing wise, and yeah, just
yeah,
horological value wise, like Moser's on another level compared to Ming. I think design wise, I mean, they've both done a very good job of
yeah,
kind of carving out a signature look, right?
yeah. But again,
Like
Ming's got a tighter box. They have to work in design
Mhm.
wise.
they do. But if you were to take the Ming name off the dial, which uh, I think they put it on, but it's on pretty small, you would still know it's a Ming, much like a Moser, right?
Yeah, like
Yep.
there was this Ferrier like Gallet, and it
Hmm.
looked like a Ming, and I was like, it looks
Oh,
like a
really?
Ming. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Remaker's got it. It's the
Oh, yeah.
Gallet. It's got kind of a Ming styling to the dial,
Mm,
and I wasn't thinking Ferrier. I was like, wow, that kind of looks like a Ming, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, Kelvin's saying, obviously
Yeah,
Moser makes all their movements even down to the hairspring, and I
Yeah.
think what
They
Penny
make
meant was
everything.
more like stylistically.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, we all know that Moser is just a different level watch.
Mm.
Um, um, Joseph saying Moser all the way.
Yeah.
uh, okay, so moving on, I wanted to bring something up that actually Marcus brought to my attention. And I think it's something fun that we can talk about real quick over here. Um, this came out within the last day or so. Conor McGregor spending what was it, $1 million on this Jacob and Company watch.
they were like a million a piece. I think he spent 2.2 between the two of them.
Oh, so he bought two of them, right?
Yeah, he
Okay.
Oh,
bought
so
two
it
of them.
was two. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So what's the other one's? I saw the other one, but I didn't catch who makes that. Was that a?
I only see the one from Jacob and Co.
No, they were both Jacob and Co. One
Yeah,
was
that's what they're
one.
Oh,
both right.
were they?
I kind of wish Joe was on because like
The one was
it
an
was
erotic, right?
it was an erotic minute
Yeah.
repeater, and we all know Joe Chang loves the erotic watches. He
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, it was pretty cool because it was like the window opens up. You could probably find it if you Google.
Yeah.
Like the little window opens up and then you see them going at it.
yeah, yeah. Maybe this trying to stay as a family show, so maybe maybe we won't. Well, but this goes to like there's so many types of conversations that we can have all around this, right? Conor McGregor, I looked up before the stream like what his net worth was, and it's around $120 million. So if he did pay $2 million for
I
Listen,
suspect that's underestimating his net worth. I
it could
I
be.
suspect he's
Yeah.
worth more.
well, this is assuming that he's made like 230 in his lifetime, right? So
Yeah.
his net worth is 120.
Listen,
that's what they're going for.
he did not spend $2 million on these watches.
No.
There's no frickin' way.
Well, let's say he even spent like 1 million on the
Jacob
joke.
took out the calculator and he was
Yeah.
like, well, how much discount can I give you? He might not even paid for him for all I
Right.
know, like this could be just marketing for Jacob.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can appreciate the I can never say it. Astronomica, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Astronomia or whatever. It's honestly it's a cool design, but it's jewelry, right? That's what it is.
The Godfather's kind of cool. The Godfather watch is kind of cool.
Which one's that?
I think it's like a fusee chain with it's got like a lot of Godfather imagery inside the movement.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's sorry, jumping off.
What pen is Marcus wearing?
Let's see what I've got today. Something pretty. I've got the best nib in the world, the number 50 nib from Pilot, custom Urushi. Well, sorry, the Emperor number 50 nib.
Nice. I've got my new pen.
Oh yeah, Colin, you've got to unveil that.
Yeah, this is it's a long ass name, man.
The
Leonardo
Momento
Officina
Zero.
Italiano Momento Zero Gran Tradizi. Yeah,
Yep.
I love it. This is my favorite pen I've gotten so far. It's really nice. Writes really well.
Man, I am so not part of this pen game. Not to say that I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like trying to temper my my budding knife addiction,
Yeah.
and so adding another one, man, it's tough. It's tough. Oil Money says, Bobby, I'm telling you, all future watch reviews have to include a German timepiece, a Christmas tree, and a pair of battered claw-like hands. It's really your signature at this point. So true, Oil Money watches. I cannot disagree with you. Any combination of those three, I will try to accommodate. By the way, this hopefully will be going down this week. So, but
I hope I hope you still have the Christmas tree for your August reviews. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
just tell everyone you're Orthodox or something. Like that was just like a few days ago.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe
January
a week ago.
6th. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see here. Is producer Michael a Mr. Wonderful collab video? Jacob gave Kevin a watch outright for marketing purposes on Shark Tank. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, maybe to Marcus's and Colin's point that this is more of a marketing thing from Jake and Company that Conor McGregor did not pay full price.
You know what? Like, I don't know when it was. Probably a year ago, I watched one of those producer Michael videos.
Yeah,
and he went to the Jacob. He met with Jacob,
mm-hmm.
and he freaking shook him down for like 60% off his watches, and Jacob freaking did it right on camera, and they offered to like give it to like all of his viewers too. First of all, it was on like closed out like old ones, but it was so embarrassing. Like literally Michael was like, negotiating with him on the video. It was like so awkward. And then Jacob caved, and it's like, you're literally telling everybody that your watches are only worth like 30 or 40% of what you're asking. Oh, it was so horrible.
I don't know. So where I was going at before, and I'm glad we went on this tangent, but in regards to a big ticket item, let's say he paid 40%. All right. So that's still $800,000 worth of watches. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say, and maybe he paid less. He probably paid less. Right. Like all the money in the world. Right. Would you ever wear something that expensive on your wrist? Ever?
If I had Conor McGregor money?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Powerball, so the Mega Millions or Powerball in the United States is $750 million tonight, or is it tomorrow? One of these days. After you get the payout, which is probably roughly half, and then after taxes, you're looking at a third of that money, right? So you're looking at 250 million roughly, depending on the state that you
Are you
live, obviously. But
serious?
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, because if you take the
Oh.
lump sum, you don't get the 750. You
Oh
get like
yeah.
yeah,
Lottery's different in Canada. You get the whole thing and you don't get taxed on it.
yeah. No, we get taxed on it. We
But we
definitely
don't
get
have $600 million Powerballs.
No, we don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, so you get 250, roughly around $250 million, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
you
I'd wear that.
would
Yeah.
you wear $1 million watch?
Sure. Especially if could handle myself like Connor can. I mean, that
Yeah.
helps.
Well, I
I,
mean,
I
I don't,
just
Connor
I just
might be
wouldn't
able to
wear
handle himself. I don't know if he could stop bullets. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
just
he's
wouldn't wear
got
that $1 million
security.
watch.
Yeah, I
I
would.
think
I mean,
for me, when I look at celebrities, I try to decide: am I appalled or am I jealous?
Yeah.
And I think this one appalls me. Like
yeah.
the tackiness of it appalls me. Like when I see like Robert Downey Jr., I'm like I'm jealous,
Yeah.
right,
Gotcha.
of his watch.
Yeah.
When I see
Except for
even
that.
John Mayer, I'm jealous. When I see like Brad Pitt's collection, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But that's
Mhm.
that horological choice is appalling, regardless of how much it costs.
Conor McGregor has some sweet watches, though. He does have some really nice ones, like that
Yeah,
green
like
Patek and all
the Green
that. Like,
Patek,
yeah,
the two-tone
yeah.
Nautilus. Yeah, but I
I don't
mean
know. I don't
that's
know his whole collection, but
that's an appalling watch.
yeah.
I don't know. For me, um, a couple of things. I'd be terrified, right? Look, I don't have that kind of like, I've
Dude,
never,
you hire some security. You're good, buddy.
right, right. So I probably would, right? I probably would
Yeah.
have to.
Well, you would.
And
Yeah.
I hate to be this guy, right? But like I think like if I spent $1 million on a watch, like all the good that may have possibly that I could do with that $1 million. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
could.
you're gonna make me
I
feel
know.
bad now.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna make you feel because you're a terrible person, Colin. And I
Yeah.
want you to know it. I want everybody
Yeah.
to know it.
You
Um,
tricked me.
I totally and you bought it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, like, uh, I maybe like a $50,000. Yeah, maybe like a Patek, like a Nautilus. I mean, I wouldn't get a Nautilus, but maybe like something of Nautilus
Yeah.
caliber. Sure. That I could do. I could get into collecting and have a collection worth a couple 100,000. Sure, I would do that. But something like that, and because of how it looks like Colin's watch, like that's not my style anyway. Like I just don't know if I could do that. I enjoy these these 2,000, $3,000 tool
Come
watches too.
on, you wouldn't be wearing that sin if you
I I
wanted to.
totally I, I totally would, but I would have like a $50,000 watch too. You know what I mean? Like
Seriously?
oh yeah, why not, man? I love
I'd
this
be,
watch.
I'd give it away.
I mean, I'd probably give it away after a year, but I'd wear it for a year and enjoy it.
Really?
You know, if I'm gonna mow the lawn, I'd wear it. I'm not gonna wear
No,
a.
I'd mow the lawn in a paddock.
Question to the chat: would you mow a lawn wearing a Patek Philippe, a Nautilus? Let us know in the chat.
Sure.
Not spending on a site work day. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
That seems fair.
that's yeah. Hey Thomas, how are you, buddy? How you
That
doing?
is, you know what? That's kind of like a cutoff for me too. Like when like right now when I think of like how much would I spend on a watch, it's like Zeitwerk is about the max I could
Yeah,
see myself ever going.
Like even if you had 200 million, you wouldn't buy like a Grubel or something.
Oh, I would. I mean, that's a whole other
yeah,
like yeah, and maybe not right away. Like I might not go and like get a Grubel. Well, you know what, I probably would. But eventually you're gonna buy the Zeitwerk and then you're gonna go, oh look at that one. And then you're gonna buy you know, like a $200,000 paddock, and then you're gonna buy a Grubel Forzy, and I could see it happening, especially once the interest checks start rolling in, and yeah, you'd be bored. Or
Kevin's
you
just
could donate it all.
yeah. Kevin's just buy a gold or platinum Daytona. Colin likes that gold Daytona.
I do. Yeah.
Penny, yes, I would mow the lawn wearing a Patek, but Rolex is better for that.
That
probably
doesn't
true.
matter. Yeah.
uh,
Something with a bracelet though, you'd be fine.
yeah.
I'd buy 500
500
watches.
watches.
Yeah. Congratulations, Wolfgang, by
Yeah,
the way.
congratulations, man.
Man.
I agree with Bobby. Buying $1 million watch is basically unethical. I mean, look, I don't know if it's unethical. I wouldn't do it. You know, I don't. I'm not going to tell Conor McGregor how much money he should ever make. I'll never tell anybody how much they should ever make, and I'll never tell them how they spend their money. I mean, that's just a personal decision. I don't look down on Conor. I just question his taste. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to view like assessing celebrity collections. It's like that's why I'm saying like I admit I'm jealous sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I do, and I try to say do I hate it because it's tacky or do I hate it because I'm jealous?
Right.
And I kind of hate it because it's tacky.
Right. Sanjay, it's not for me. Not for me. Hashtag not for me.
uh,
So,
Not for
guys.
not for me.
Oh man.
Anyway, what else is going on in the watch
What else
world?
is going on, guys? Yeah. In the chat, Q&A. Marcus is ready to answer any question. So is Colin.
Marcus is frozen, I think.
Marcus is frozen.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. Colin, anything that's caught your eye lately? I know you're always looking, like we all are.
Yeah. I've been kind of focused on a few watches for a while now. Nothing else is really catching my eye. Earlier tonight, I was fantasizing about selling a bunch of stuff, like selling like almost all my G-Shocks. And like I had the calculator out, like how much money would I get by selling all these? And then by selling I was thinking about raising some money just to buy something, like just buy one watch with the money from that, like
Yeah.
something like a Zin or something like an Endurance Pro or something like that. Like how close would I get to being able to pay for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking about that tonight, but that sounds like a lot of work too. So
Yeah. But it's fun work, though. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Any temptation? I think we've talked about that new G-Shock Square, the Full Metal in red. Any temptation on that one? You're still a pass on that?
On which one?
On that new all metal G-Shock, the red one. You still not for you? Yeah.
That's not for me. No, a little too loud.
Scott wants to know, how soon after the holidays do you buy a new watch? Well, I mean, it wasn't that long for me.
I have no moratoriums any time of year, really. If the right deal's there, I'll do it. Ooh, that's a good one.
Lightning
Good
round.
question.
Keith wants to know, Marcus, you're up. Why do you hate Nomos?
I hate Nomos because I just don't like any of their design. I don't see the Bauhaus appeal, and they're uninteresting to me. And I don't get why the part of it's I don't get why the collector community is so interested in it. So I'm trying to be contrary.
Mm-hmm.
Oris.
I do not hate Oris. I like Oris.
No, yeah, he does like Oris.
Christopher Ward.
That's their design language just doesn't speak to me, and I think I see too many YouTubers that I don't like spruiking it too much. So
yeah,
and I've had a couple in hand, and like I think their build quality on the cases, it's iffy.
Penny wants to know, Marcus, other than the Ed White, what are you trying to pick up this year?
Silver Snoopy. So I'm pretty boring this year. It's going to be a boring year.
Well, until something comes out.
Yeah.
You know. Flyers win 5-2. Thank you for the update, Bruce. Appreciate it. Penny also wants to know from Colin, what is your next Rolex?
It's going to be a Daytona.
Yeah, so I would anticipate that I'll get called for an Oyster Flex Daytona before any steel sports model. I would prefer to get a steel sports model just because it would be cheaper, but I assume that I'll get called for a yellow gold Oyster Flex.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Penny with the questions. I love it. Is that your
Yeah.
favorite Zin you're wearing? It is today. But it's definitely top 5 for me. I'm really sweating that U50, man. I'm really sweating it, and just waiting for the right one pre-owned pops up, or I may just buy it new. But I'm definitely excited about that. Daniel, I think the new rose gold Jago G-Shock.
There's a rose gold one?
Yeah, it's not a square. I'll keep going if you want to take a look at it, Colin. Completely agree about Nomos, Marcus. So not a lot of love from Nomos tonight here, I see.
I mean, listen, so I've owned 2 Nomoses. I owned a Tangenta or Tangenta, however you say it.
Tangente.
Tangente, I don't know. Bobby Legs, I need your German help. And I owned a 36 millimeter club, or club campus or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I bought both of those used. I bought them very, very well. So I figured I'll give them a shot. I actually did like the Tangenta. I can't say it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I liked it for the time I had it. I was also at a different point in my collecting when I had it. Now I look back and I'm like, oh, that was kind of crap. Honestly, I really hadn't experienced a lot of higher end watches at that point. But for the price point, if you can buy them, like I bought that club for like $600 Canadian, which is like, under 500 US. I ended up selling it for quite a bit more than that. I ended up selling the other one as well, made a profit on it. Like if you can buy them really well, because I'll be realistic with you, they're kind of toxic to sell. Like it's not easy to sell them. So if someone's motivated to sell, they will discount it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So you can find them for pretty cheap. And if you're looking for something under $1,000, you could do worse, I think.
Thomas wants to know about that new Zenith. We talked about this in Amin stream, right? The one, the Cappuccino Dial Revival chronograph. I liked it. I think like if you have a large collection, sure, why not? I think if it's going to be your only chronograph, or if you have a smaller collection, I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
It's my least favorite of the revivals.
Yeah,
right.
That shade of brown is not for me.
Yeah. I do like it. Keith is okay. No worries, Keith. He misremembered, if that even is a word, that you hated a Oris.
May have been a specific model.
Yeah, it may have been a specific one, right?
Yeah.
Kelvin saying Nomos is nice in a sense that they were amongst the first to have all house movements at that price point. Their minimalist design Bauhaus appeals to many. I agree about the minimalist design appeals to many. It's a tough sell for me. Like I want to like that Bauhaus look, and certain brands do it better than others. I need I don't mind plain dials. I need a little bit something going on, and sometimes like Young Hands, that's a little too Bauhaus for me. Do you know what I mean? That's a little too.
That's total Bauhaus. Yeah.
Penny approved.
Yeah.
2 speedies.
Yeah. I'm honestly still a little surprised that you're going to get 2 speedies.
I'm not going to keep 2 speedies, but I'm going to buy 2 speedies.
Oh, okay. All right. It just sounds so surprising to me. Every time I hear it, I'm kind of like, wow, you're gonna buy two Speedies?
I think it's I want to get to 5.
Yeah.
And the one that I'm going to get after the 2 Speedies is like I'm going to be looking for like a premium 3-handed stainless steel sports watch. So that might take a while. So that's why I'm saying it's a placeholder, but it might be a placeholder for like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm looking at the Chapek. I'm looking at the Longa,
Yeah.
especially if the Odysseus comes out on a strap.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put my name on a couple of jumbo wait lists, so we'll see.
Steel on strap.
Yeah, steel on strap.
I didn't realize you were a big fan of the Odysseus.
I love the
yeah.
Odysseus.
It's beautiful.
I think it's
no, it is. It is. I didn't know specifically you were that big of a fan of it. Okay.
it's by far the leader in the clubhouse
Yeah.
movement wise. That it's not even close. Like it blows everything out of the water, even Vacheron, even the Vacheron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
I will probably keep my Snoopy until I buy that piece, but I don't know which one of those 3 I'm going to get.
Yeah.
You tried it on, right?
I did. The problem is that the bracelet flares out too much for my wrist, so I probably need to get it on strap.
Yeah.
All right, I want to catch up with the chat a little bit here. I've got a hankering for the U52, and so does Kevin. Just saying, just get it. Yeah, I might as well just. You're right. Here's what Penny's saying. We're talking away from your German watch lovers card for not liking it. We're taking it away. Yeah, I mean, like it's not that I don't like Nomos. It's just it's not for me. It I mean, like I don't even mean to say it's not for me, but
not for me.
It really is. It just Daniel prefers young hands to Nomos. Those lugs aren't 40 millimeters long. I think that's some that styling that the case styling of some of those Nomos models with those long lugs. I think that's what kind of turns me off a little bit. Plus some of those models looking more Bauhausy. I don't know. I'm making up a term than others. You know what I mean? So like the campus club, I'm attracted to, right? But the Tagenti or however it's said, that's not, or the Orion, it just doesn't really do it for me. Oil Money says even Germans hate Nomos. Oh, hot take by Oil Money. Jeff loves his young hands. Yeah, I mean, look, I want to dig them too. It's just some of their models are just
not for you.
Not for me. Bobby, what is your favorite German Flieger brand? Damasco, Zinn, Laco, or Hanhart? Man, that's a good question. I have been really digging Damasco a lot lately. And somebody had mentioned about Nomos making in-house movements for the price point. Now Damasco is coming out with in-house movements and at a pretty good price point too. So today I like Damasco. Tomorrow it could be any of the ones you mentioned, Tom.
For me, I don't care that they're coming out with their own movement.
No, look, I care in a sense that I like to see with Damasco especially, right, that there's like a next level commitment by the brand. Okay, I may not get a Damasco with their in-house movement, but I like the fact that they're doing it. To me, there is some sort of currency to that for me with the brand. You know what I mean? Like, I much prefer at that price point having a 2824 or Solita where I can go down the street and get it fixed theoretically and not send it back to Germany like I would probably with their in-house movement if something happened. But I just like the fact that they're trying.
That's fair.
Okay.
I didn't realize. Sorry, I'm going to bring it to G-Shock. The gray Casio that I just got. I didn't realize that's been discontinued.
Oh,
yeah, I think
that's
gonna. It's starting to go up on the gray market.
Ooh, I'm gonna make $50.
Time to put it away in the safe.
Yeah, I'll lock her up.
Nilo saying Zin needs to do an in-house movie. I don't know, Nilo. I don't know if they have to. They have some of their models. They do a lot of heavy modification on the base ETAs.
Yeah.
I like all the other tech around it. They don't need they don't need to do an in-house.
They do a lot of cool stuff with the 7750.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want them to do it. I agree with you guys.
All right.
Did Wrist Race get the Piaget Gouverneur?
Oh yeah.
I wonder.
Is he on here?
I thought
I saw him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can answer in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce, what about Geo? Do any of their watches interest you? Yeah, I mean, Colin had one that really interested me that he sold a few months ago, and that is the Pano lunar
Panamatic lunar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bad with model names. I'm like I'm
Yeah.
like Phil Sanders.
Yeah, it's I really enjoyed that watch. It's beautiful. It's well done for the price. Again, you buy it used, you buy it gray, whatever. And you can pick them up for even under $7,000 US,
Yeah.
you know.
It's an elegant watch.
It is. A lot of people make a big to do about the thickness of it. It's really not that thick.
Yeah.
Like people make it sound like it's super thick because they claim it's a dress watch. I don't really see it as a dress watch. It is dressy, but I don't see it as a dress watch.
It's something like my Moser Perpetual. Like it's something you could daily drive to a white collar job. But it's not like a dress watch.
Yeah, exactly. It fit under my cuff fine. Yeah, I just sold it because I wasn't really wearing it enough. You know, same old story.
My buddy Ryan, he's the same way. He has one, and he has the one with the Pano Reserve, and he loves it. He just doesn't wear it enough.
Yeah, the Reserve's a little thinner. I was actually probably going to get the Reserve. That's what I was really looking for, but then I found such a good deal on the Lunar. I think I got it for $6,000. So I was like, all right, like I'll just buy this, and I always like a moon phase. So
Tom wants to know, Colin, where would your horological journey have gone without Rolex? What brands would you be into?
Well, so Thomas, I don't know if you know this about me, but really, my first Rolex entered my collection less than a year ago. That was the date just. I got that, I think, in May of last year. So, I mean, I was, my first watch was this watch here. Well, my first, nice watch is an Omega. I bought, Hamilton. I've had, I had a Tudor Black Bay 58, Mega Speedmasters, multiples of those. I've had Glashütte, I've had Moser, I've had, I've tried a lot of different watches.
I think Colin would go into Omega. People are saying that you'd be into Tudor. I think you'd be into Omega.
I'm not into Tudor. Tudor, I like certain Tudor models. I find their designs too much the same. They don't really interest me. Omega, there's not a ton that really gets me going with Omega. I like IWC, even though I've never owned one. I like a lot of their watches. I'd probably go high horology. Like I'd start looking at the Vacherons and stuff like that, or indies right now. I'd probably go like small collection, but really high end. Yeah, I mean, I've tried a lot of different watches, and right now I'm liking Rolex. It's really speaking to me. So, yeah.
Now, Marcus, I mean, I know you have a couple of Rolexes. Now, did that, Colin used the term "speaking to him." Was was Rolex speaking to you as well? I mean, could you picked up the Moser, you have the Epigeorm. Were you in that phase where you wanted the Rolex, you got into Rolex, and then these watches came after, or did they come before? I feel like you almost run two simultaneous.
Yeah, it was kind of simultaneous.
Yeah.
I think I appreciate Rolex for what it is. I don't try to make it out to be more than it is.
Yeah.
But I also try not to make it less than it is. And I think that the community as a whole, they're either too high on Rolex or they're too low. I try and come in the middle, try and appreciate them for what they are. They have the provenance. They're very solid. They're well built, well designed, toolish watches. I know Amin says they're not tool watches, but they're very robust. I don't have a problem, wearing it outdoors for outdoors activities, that kind of stuff. So, it's I wouldn't necessarily wear it to the gym if I'm weight training, but if I'm doing like a run or like a hike or something like that, I can easily just keep my Rolex on and know that it's going to keep really good time. I appreciate the build quality; it feels very robust. The movements are basically bulletproof. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. 70s, back to Geo. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that line too. I'm not a 60s guy. I like the 70s. I don't know if I would buy a 70s, but I do like it. I mean,
I like a lot of Glashütte watches. Honestly, there's a ton in their catalog that I could get into.
The Senator line. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful watches.
I think the chrono is really compelling. Like there are three watches that I find compelling in the Daytona range chrono wise. Like I find the 70s chronograph, the flyback chronograph, very compelling in that Daytona price range. I find the Blancpain flyback chronograph very compelling in that Daytona range, and I find the IWC Yacht Club in-house movement, the flyback, also. Those are very compelling pieces in that sort of. If you can't get a stainless steel Daytona, you're looking at a two-tone Daytona. I think you need to look at those three pieces, and that includes Geo.
Yeah. So Rolls-Royce, he passed on the Piaget.
Yeah, I just bring it up because I want to have a bit of a mea culpa. I feel like I was very dismissive to his question. I swear I was not pulling those numbers out of my what. The way I was looking at that piece was like, just a background for those who weren't on Wednesday. It's a $24,000 watch, right? And then I think he was talking about 18.5.
Yeah.
And this is a solid gold Piaget piece. Even without talking about, like, I'm not going to say anything bad about Piaget. It's a solid watch. Yeah. But this is a precious metal piece that you're looking at that's been discontinued. It's probably a new old stock model, right? So those guys, the true dealer cost is probably 10 to 12,000. So they're probably paying anywhere from 40 to 50% of that, right? And it's they're basically going to lose money on that. If they don't sell it to you, they're going to be closing out that watch. They're going to be selling it to like Federico for like 10 to 12, and he's going to be selling it for 13.
Yeah. Oh, you lost him.
Awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll dump it to somebody like a dealer, and then they'll throw it up and make their $2,000 or $3,000, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
So, yeah, I'm back. So like, okay. I mean, I think that if you offer 40, I think 45% off is a good price point. So like 13. I thought that 18.5 was way too much to pay for that piece, even out of a dealer's window with the full discount. I think that if you had offered 13 or even 14, you could have made off with that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, you walk. So
you walk away, exactly. Because and I think if you buy it for like 16 to 18, you're basically bailing them out. Like the dealer's looking for you to bail them out. Like it's it's like in basketball when a guy like leaves his feet and is looking to pass, like you don't want to bail them out by fouling him, right? You let him throw a stupid pass.
Yeah, I talked about Nomos being hard to move. Like that's a hard to move watch there. Like a precious gold Piaget discontinued. Like that's
So I think that if you had gone up to him and said 13, I think I said 12 on Wednesday.
You said 12,
If you go with 13 or even a means 14, you would have you could have gotten it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would give it to him for 12, honestly. But Yeah, you'd have to come up and
Well,
somewhere in
because
between there.
because the fact of the matter is that the alternative is sell to you for 12 to 13, or they sell it to a gray dealer for like 10. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be closing that out
Just-
for like 30 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of my, I didn't want to, I think I came out pretty dismissive to that question. So I thought I'd elaborate on it a bit further. But yeah.
I think a lot of it had to do with you had to be a man of few words because your internet was cutting out then too.
Yeah.
So hey, we got super chats today. We can give Marcus some money for some internet.
Penny says that she had an encouraging visit with her Rolex AD today. He has promised me a sub next week. Very nice.
Congratulations,
Penny. What?
Penny.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Wait, you wanted the Kermit though? Is it the Kermit or is it a sub?
I think it's a sub.
I think
it sounds like a sub.
She would have said Kermit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But I think
still awesome. Still
yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
that's great. Awesome.
That's very good.
Everybody's congratulating Penny. Well deserved. We'd love to, hear about it, Penny. Obviously, we'd love to see you post a video. My fingers are crossed for the first sub. He said no on the Kermit, basically. Okay. All right.
He basically said no.
So yeah, okay. I mean, so did he say no and then offered you the sub?
No forever or
right.
Their Kermit, I can't believe how hard the Kermit is to get, honestly. Like it's kind of insane. Like people with $500,000, $1 million purchase history are having to wait, a year for them. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Like he's got to, well, he got it, but it took him what, 4 months or so.
You have to wait a whole fiscal quarter.
A whole 4 months, yeah.
That's like 4 watches for Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. Orange Hand, and for you Rolex guys, would Rolex ever make a split second or flyback Daytona? A Daytona 2 would be badass.
I'm not ruling that out.
I don't think they would. Well, maybe eventually, but they don't need to. Why do they need to sink money into?
But keep in mind that that's a very different thing, right? A flyback versus a split second. I think a flyback is much more likely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Joseph wants to know should he drink scotch, bourbon, or rye tonight?
Scotch.
Scotch. Why not?
I'm going to defer to you too.
I haven't drank any of those things in a really long time, so I would say scotch.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Good man, I appreciate that.
Thanks, Richard. We'll PayPal that over to Marcus right after the show.
Yeah. What about you? I guess we know what Bobby's up to. We know what Marcus is up to. Yeah, so we're kind of up to speed here on what we're thinking of doing.
Yeah, and of course, with that caveat, anything can change. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely, this is definitely a sure thing, right? I mean, I got it, and once I had it in hand, I'm like, I'm not letting this go. So that's the way you get me to buy a watch. If you wanna send it in, and under the guise
send me your watches.
Under the guise of you can review it if you like, and that's how you get me to buy. And then the U50 and the Damasco maybe down the road at some point, with the backdrop of the Kadoki always saving a little bit here. The other watches, I'm selling other watches to help fund that, right? So
let me ask you, why are you doing 2 Zins?
Yeah.
Why not just go straight to the Kadoki? Like why you could get there quicker if you.
No, you're absolutely right. The U50 has been on my radar for a really, really long time. I really like it. I like it like I like. I have the same reactions that I have with the Tudor Black Bay. the 58 or Tudor Black Bay in general. I hated the snowflake hands, and then I loved it, and I became obsessed with it. Got it, and it paid off. Right, I love that watch. The U1 originally, I hated the hands. I hated the Lego hands. Then I become obsessed with it, and then they made that watch even better in my eyes by making it into, coming out with the U50, which the size proportions are just perfect.
Hmm.
And I'm just dying to compare it to the Black Bay 58. I'm dying to have a side by side with it. I can have both those watches in my collection. I could call it a day with dive watches for a really long
You'll
time.
keep them both.
I think I will. If I don't, if I'm not enamored with the U50, I'll sell it, and I'll probably do okay. I mean, I'll lose a little money, maybe.
Yeah.
What if the U50 is better than the 58?
I'll always keep the 58.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always keep the 58.
Okay.
So that's why.
That's interesting, because when I think of buying watches, I usually try to buy something that I don't have, like something that's not similar to what I have.
But they're so different, though. Still, they're so very different aesthetically.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then on top of it, you got the extra tech on the U50. Which is awesome. Like I almost consider my Black Bay 58 almost as a dress watch.
It
you
is a
know,
bit. Yeah. It's
you know.
yeah.
So the U50, I can go out and not really give a care if I bang it up a
Hmm.
little bit. So that's why. And plus, I think channel wise, it's something that, if people want to tune in to a channel that's more focused on German watches here in the States, especially where Zinn is very known by enthusiasts. I wouldn't say like the average Joe knows, the average person who is not really into watch collecting knows about Zen, but maybe they do. Like I think people would be interested in seeing that, and then I think people would be interested in seeing the comparison too. So there's a couple of reasons. There's a whole lot of reasons. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of layers to it.
You're
So
doing it for the YouTubes.
I'm doing it for myself,
I
but
honestly
as a
can't think of a German focused watch channel other than yours.
well, no, there are some guys out there.
Yeah.
My friend who has the Beans and Bezels. He just, I think, has 1,000 subscribers too, but he does great work, and it is German centric. I mean, he does do other brands. I think, like, watches our size, we have to cast a wider net, especially in the beginning, because we just want people to find us, right? But now I'm getting to a point where, like, I'm just really happier doing reviews on German watches and talking about German watch topics, and so that's why I'm focusing more on that. I'll still do the occasional review, Swiss watch, Japanese watch, micro brand, but I'm going to be doing less of that.
Mhm.
And I just love Zen. I'm a fanboy, and
Yeah.
that's why. And then I mean, I don't think I need more than 2 or 3 Zen, and hopefully I'll reach an audience and that is into German watch collecting, and some will send their watches in for me for review, and that'd be great too. But that's a long answer to your question.
No, that's
But
good.
that's basically what I'm.
I
what I'm
will say
getting
this: the Zin fanboy community is one of the more likable fanboy communities.
at.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
I cannot get mad at the Zin fanboy
They're
community.
they're kind of just genuine
Yeah.
dudes usually. Yeah. Don't like
They're
anything too
they're
fancy.
they're
Just
not obnoxious.
yeah,
They're not
yeah,
snobbish.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
That
kind of like their watches, right?
Yeah.
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 Um, Penny, can the IWC be an honorary German watch company?
They're right on the border, aren't they? Schaffhausen.
Yeah, but I mean, just because they were one of the famous 5 brands that made watches for the German Air Force. I don't know. I still consider. I think of them as a
Yeah.
Swiss. But I mean, look, if you want to look at them as an honorary German watch company, I have no problem with that either. Another channel before, if I could just interject, is Watch Maxi. My friend Axel, he lives in Germany. He's done a couple streams, and he does mostly all German watches. And speaking of streams, tomorrow I'll have Wolfgang Heinrich in, who has a Kickstarter campaign for a German watch. So anyway, I mean, I'm sorry I ate up all the oxygen at the end there. I took it all up, but anything you guys want to end with?
No. Daniel Yu was talking about the Vacheron that Marcus brought up there on Wednesday, which
I think Kai's VC80
he's on board.
Well, Kai's VC80 kind of confirmed it by denying it. He was like,
yeah,
we deny it's coming out, and then the next text was,
we'll call you.
We'll call you if it does. So,
no, we'll call you when it does. Yeah. It was like the worst denial ever. So it sounds like it's coming. That has like some different materials, like you said tantalum and stuff like that.
It's a titanium case, but I think the underside of the bezel is tantalum.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
So it's like a two-tone. It's not going to be like a brushed tantalum case. No, I don't think DC's going to want to go to the trouble of that.
So you think it'll be a lot more? That it won't have a bracelet though, right? It'll be a strap most likely.
I suspect it'll be a lot more if it comes with a bracelet, or I think it'll be slightly over par if it comes just on a strap.
Just on the strap, yeah. Amin coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Coming in. Colin featuring more G-Shocks lately on the second Insta. I don't think Colin knows what you're talking about.
No.
Well, guys, we went over a little bit. Thank you so much, Colin and Marcus, for joining me tonight. I'm always appreciative getting your take and you guys sharing your knowledge about brands on the stream. Again, really, really appreciate it. Colin, anything you want to promote?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Winding Watches.
Winding Watches, yeah.
And Marcus, do you want to share your Instagram with everyone?
At Penultimate Watch, all one word.
Yeah. And Marcus
we've got watches.
Pugs and watches, man. It's awesome.
Pugs, pens, and watches. Yeah. It's like the best combination.
It really is one of my favorite Instagram profiles. Like whenever you put anything up, I love it when I see your pug up there. It's awesome. Dogs make me happy. I'm sure.
How's the diet going?
Yeah,
he's down 0.5 pound.
Is he? That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Percentage wise, that's a good chunk.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty chunky.
He's the chunky. I don't know if he's chunkier, he or Lofi.
Thank you, Tom. More funds for the Marcus Internet.
For the Marcus Internet.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Expensive.
Appreciate it, guys. Good night, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. For my stream with Wolfgang, and guys, have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, everyone.